It's so late. What is happening? What do you mean? I thought streamer didn't want to burn out. I was lonely. Okay, chat. Is it so bad for me to want to do a stream? Hello? Do. Oh my god, I'm grabbing my own head. Oh, it's bullying me. Hello, chat? Hello? What are we doing today? We're chilling at a space bar in Star Wars. I ran off to go get another beer because the last one I had saved half a beer that I drank from the previous night. It went stale. I should have known that carbonation doesn't work like that. So there you go. There you go. Was that good ASMR for you? I deem this carbonated. Are you telling me you don't drink your beers? Love. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. Sorry, that was my cat. Since May 4th is Star Wars Day, I propose that everyone in chat drops their favorite sci-fi media. I can tell you mine. It's not Star Wars. My favorite media of all time, I would have to say, is Red Rising. I love the Red Rising book series. Very good if you haven't. Purely a book. They haven't made an adaptation yet. It's a late Saturday stream. Or wait, Today's Sunday! Today's Sunday! You have a great sense of humor. Keep up the good work. You're so right, Jade. I'm just a natural. So far, my mom is the only one who agrees, but like, we can change a few minds. Would you want to be a Jedi, a bounty hunter, Sith, or Mandalorian? Who would not choose a Jedi or Sith? Magic space powers? Oh my god. That's amazing. If you didn't know, President Kennedy at the time watched Star Wars and saw the Death Star and was just like, America must have one, and started employing a lot of physicists as like a top secret lab thing. And they were trying to make laser armed satellites that orbited the Earth and would blast down lasers for many reasons. It's not a very good weapon. A lot of physicists refused to work on it because they thought it was absolute bonkers, dumbass shit. Not for lack of trying. A lot of people tried, but it was very funny. I've talked to many people who were approached by feds and being like, do you and your family want to move to this undisclosed location? We're working on space lasers. And they're like, space lasers? It's completely different than the Manhattan Project. Once they realized that fusion and fission stuff were occurring, people immediately knew it could be made into a bomb. It wasn't even a question if it was possible, it was a question of when and who would make it. Whereas with the space laser thing, it was more like, I don't know about that. Maybe. I want to be a space wizard. Here's the problem. What I want and what will actually happen are very different things. The Force is a mystical thing. It literally is space wizard. Someone with my approach to things were to try to learn Star Wars space wizardry, I think I would fail horribly. You know how Darth Vader comes up to someone and then sticks his hand up and goes, and then kills them, right? My question would immediately be, all right, what's the range on this bad baby? Can I grab 3 people at once? You know, like what's the limitation? Can I force choke through a projection? Like what's going on? And I would limit test all the time. And I'd be like, okay, how angry do I have to feel? Emotions are what power my force powers, right? What if I just have a picture of someone I really hate? Or even better, I have someone that I really care about, like my father or something, and I tie him to his chair and electrocute him so that I see him suffering and it fuels me with rage, and then I can like empower myself. Surely that would work. The Force requires a good deal of discipline, as well as use of the code, and a lot of those. Jedi need to train their whole lives to do the Force choke thing, and it's exclusively dark side. The Jedi can only push and block. It's a defensive tool only. Being a Jedi sucks! What do you mean? What? Why would I ever want to be a Jedi? The Sith Lords can do Force block too. It seems like the Sith have all the cool abilities. Okay, you know what? I'm actually, I'm a Sith Lord right now. Wait, I'm angry now. I'm a Sith Lord. This is my main problem with Sith Lords. They all want power for the sake of power. None of them know what to do as soon as they have it. I know what I would do. I got some plans ready to go. I'd probably give better education systems, make people better at reading and writing, maybe empower some engineering division, some space exploration, get some space cannons up there. Wormhole travel would be nice. Ooh, human cloning, that would be cool. Some quantum computers. I would, have a global currency. Maybe I'll just be a space hooker. I'm
Tax
sober.
Single mothers.
Oh, wait. Oh, Sue! Who said that?
I woke up from my sleep to come to your stream and RESUB, and the first thing I get hit UO with is, are you a single mother? Damn, Karbon are really into MILFs, I fear.
Cops only after you because they know you have illegal stolen goods.
In my defense, my company was not using all their equipment, and I was. Like, what are they gonna do with expensive prototypes? I was one of the inventors. No one knows how the prototype system works, only I do, so I might as well cop it when I go home so I can have it as a nice,
illegal C4
rest.
titties.
Don't eat C4, by the way. I know a few people who ate C4 and it'll give you an infection and cause a nervous system shutdown, okay? So be careful. It may chew well, like if you chew on C4, it's fine, but if you eat it, it's bad. The Force is a religion, Karbon. If the Force is a religion, I'm a devout follower. If a religion pops up that gives me modern day superpowers that I can see, I would totally sign up. I don't care how many prayers I have to say a day or how often I have to meditate. I'm in there. I know that it's gonna come out better at the other side. Why is it when I ask a woman, like, what's your craziest hold me out, they show me something crazy like a face hug? Their hold me outs are literal monsters. A guy's worst hold me out is a slime girl. When I talk to my dude bros, they're like, oh yeah, a slime girl? That's crazy. Where I talk to a woman and they're like, face huggers? Insects? And I'm like, oh my God. I've consumed so much Doctor Who solely through shorts. I've watched a lot of Doctor Who shorts and they're kind of interesting. I like how the Doctor is constantly a pacifist, but also can murder everyone at the same time. And it seems like a very nice, comfy show. I think both Doctor Who and Sherlock Holmes, they have an interesting struggle where their main characters are super smart, but it comes off as almost magical. But slight tangent on Code Geass, I love two main protagonists are Lelouch. He's like, the system is rotten to its core, let's tear it all down. And then there's Suzaku, who's like, you know, a sweet boy. And he's like, we can change things from within, you know? We have to follow the rules in order to change them. And Lelouch is like, fuck the rules. And it's it's nice to see them like come together and do the thing and like the bromance they have and the chaos and all the master planning and all that stuff. When did Gundam come out and when did Star Wars come out? 1977! Was Gundam inspired by Star Wars? It's confirmed! Gundam was inspired by Star Wars.
Fun fact, gunpowder and guns like we have are called slug throwers in Star Wars, and if you try to stop them with the Force or block them with a lightsaber, they explode and turn to fire shrapnel, and that's why Mandalorian used them specifically against Force users.
Oh, wow.
Cuz men's hear me out is Dandan's grandma, not real hear me outs posers.
Bro, I thought Anakin's girl was gonna get Obi-Wan and Luke and Leia were half siblings and not twins. Let's not sweat the details about the relationships between the characters, like whether or not if they're blood related. Some things are better left not known. One thing that was really surprising to me about the more modern Star Wars thing was the whole hyperdrive bullet thing. They take a ship into hyperdrive and use it as a missile to hit something else. It breaks my brain about hyperdrive. If this was the case, there would be no such thing as a crazy ship or a Death Star that could not be taken out. It's a missile that moves at light speed. The scary thing about relativistic weapons is that by the time you detect them, you are being hit by them actively. They're moving as fast as the speed of light, meaning there's no such thing as knowing when they're coming. Meaning, by the time you even register them on your radar, you're dead already. Is it because it's really expensive?
Hear me out. Since I'm a buy guy, I have two. Sesshomaru from Inuyasha and two. Dr. Temperance Brennan from Bones.
Did you just say you wanted a serial killer? Star Wars weapons are kind of silly sometimes. Lightsabers, because they're light, people assume that they are photons, but really they're plasma blades. Plasma blades could be a real thing. Have you ever welded something or have you seen a welder? They technically have a plasma blade, but the problem with plasma blades is like, they give you skin cancer. If you're a Jedi using a lightsaber, you must have an invisible force field around you at all times, because by making plasma that high energy, it's causing what's called penetrating emissions. It's a type of electromagnetic radiation that will break through your DNA and give you cancer. So in the Jedi universe, they must have like some sort of force shield, which would make sense. Every Jedi, I'm fully convinced, has an invisible force shield. I buy a lot of games on release. I have every God of War, and I haven't played the first one. Let's do a test with the Raiders. One in the chat, if you know what a Nature publication is. Can I lie? Fuck. Chat! No! So many of you don't know! The Nature publication is my biggest, the largest scientific achievement of my life. It is considered the greatest academic, industry, physics achievement I've ever made. And most people never get there. And for you to not know what it is just crazy. It's just crazy. I'm gonna Google it. I'll show you right now. To be a scientist is to publish papers. What does that actually mean? You give your research paper to a club, a science nerdy club, and all the nerds, or a couple nerds, representatives in that nerd club, read your nerd paper, and they certify it as, wow, this is banger, or wow, this is dog shit, get out of my fucking face. 9 times out of 10, they say it's dog shit. Some clubs have lower bars of quality than others, where there's other clubs that are really snobby. They're like, I'm sorry, unless you got 20 years of research and you got some big star name power, or like you literally invent black holes, you're not in. Chat, nature is that club. Einstein himself said, if you get published in here pre-30, you're literally the Chad of science. And that's what I did, chat. And no one knows. No one understands. No one gets it. No one knows. I tell people at the grocery store, I'm like, hey, I got published in Nature. And they're like, what the fuck? Who are you? What are you even talking about? Get out of my face. Pay the bills, or just put the fries in the bag. And I'm just like crying. I'm science
My
Jesus.
biology professor has a front page in Nature on sea otters. Super cool guy.
Well, you know what, Rennie? I have a front page article in Nature on physics, all right? So your professor could suck my big fat balls. I'm literally discovering new fundamental particles or new interactions of light, and it's not enough. The cute animal is just too good. Where's the redeem for drinking water? Okay. I'm gonna drink some water. Oh, Satsu, hello. I feel like nowadays, Star Wars is such a big franchise that literally anything they make will do well. But then again, we used to think that about Marvel, right? The Marvel Cinematic Universe used to be so good that it would always do well. But now it's like actually failing. So maybe they've milked that cow a little too much. But the Star Wars cow, I think, still has more milk to give.